everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, we will be discussing about threads in Java part 3. So let's start the session threads in Java part 3. At the end of the session, you will be able to learn about threads in Java. So as we already know that basically thread is something which is related to the concept of multi-threading in Java. Java is multi-threaded programming languages. That means whenever we are creating a program in Java, for the sake of simply execution of a program without any problem, without any issue, JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine, with the help of JRE, that is Java Runtime Environment, has converts the particular Java program into the number of threads. It is somewhat similar to the concept of operating system. Like in operating system, we are providing a process, if we are providing a job to the operating system, then operating system will convert or will divide that job into different processes or different subparts. In the same manner, JVM with the help of JRE will divide the entire program into the number of threads. Now, that thread is independent of each other. That means if there is any problem in a thread, then there is no impact of that problem or on the another thread. So this is what the concept of thread is. Now, the thread, whenever you are creating a thread for any of the program or for any of the process, then that thread will be having some of the states. Those states are new, log, waiting state, and terminated. So these are some of the states of thread in which threads can be presented. And one of the important thing is that thread can have a single state at one point of time. It's not like that thread T1 is there and T1 is in the runnable state and also in the waiting state. No. At one point of time, a thread can be there in the one state only. Now, there are various ways in which we can create thread. So, as per the methods provided by Java, there are two ways by which we can create a thread. The first way is by extending the thread class. That means already our thread class is there and we can just extend that class. And then we can also create thread by the help of the interface. And that can be possible by implementing the running. Now let's discuss that what actually thread class is. So thread class provides constructor and methods to create and perform operations on a thread. What are those operations? Whatever you want to execute by the help of a program, you can do the same thing with the help of the thread. Thread class extends object class and implements renewable. Then the commonly used constructors of thread class, thread constructor which will be having the string name, thread constructor which will be having the runnable method with the object R, and thread class which will be having the, or you can also say that thread constructor which will be having the runnable R, that is object, and the string name, that is two parameters. What I wanted to convey by this, that the constructor of the thread class can have the should have the same name, because the property of constructor says that the name of the constructor should be same as that of the class name. So the class is the thread class. But it can be the non-constructor, that is without any parameter. It can have a single parameter or it can have the multiple parameters. Now, there are various methods which can be used in the thread class. Those various methods are, the first method is public void run. This is the method which can be used by the thread class and it is used to perform the action for a thread. That means to run a thread. Next is public void start. That means it starts the execution of a thread. And to start the execution of a thread, what is responsible? JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine, is responsible, which calls the run method on the thread. Now, next method is public void sleep, and the type of this is long milliseconds. So it causes the currently executing thread to sleep, that is pause, temporarily cease execution. That means it's not like that it will block the execution, but it will cease or it will stop the execution temporarily for the specified number of milliseconds. Then public void join, it will wait for a thread to die. Then next method is public void join long milliseconds. It will wait for a math thread to die for a specified milliseconds. Then public int get priority. It will return the priority of the thread. Then public int set priority. It will change the priority of thread. Next is public string get name. It will return the name of the thread. Then public void set name, which will be having the parameter string name. It will change the name of the thread. Then next is public thread current thread. It will return the reference of currently executing thread. Now, next is public int get ID. It will return the ID of the thread. Next is public thread state get state. It will return the state of the thread. Then public boolean is alive. It tests if the thread is alive. Then public void yield. It causes the currently executing thread object to temporarily pause and allow other threads to execute. Then public void suspend, it is used to suspend the thread. Then public void resume, it is used to resume the thread. Then public void stop, it is used to stop the thread. Then public void is daemon, it tests if the thread is daemon thread. Then public void set daemon, it marks the thread as daemon or user thread. Then public void interrupt, it interrupts the thread. Public void is interrupted, it will test if the thread has been interrupted or not. Public static boolean interrupted, it will test if the current thread has been interrupted. So these are some of the methods that are used by thread class. Depending upon the need, depending upon the requirement of the program, we can use any of the method belongs to which belongs to this particular thread class. It is not necessarily required that we have to implement all the methods, and it is also not mandatory that we have to implement only one method. Whatever the requirement, whatever the number of the requirement is there, we can implement these methods the thread class. Apart from this, if user wants to implement more methods, then user can create its own methods so that it can be implemented in the. Now let's understand this particular thread by the help of a example. So we already know that we can create a thread by extending the thread class. So there is a class and the name of the class is multi, and it is extending the thread class. So that means we are using the thread, we are creating the thread, but we are creating the thread by the help of the thread class. Now we are having a method which belongs to the thread class, that is public void run. In this, we are defining this method, and in this, we are just printing a statement that thread is running. Then we are using the main method, and in this main method, we are creating the object of the class, and the object, that particular object will be the thread. That means T1. T stands for thread. Now, what I actually we are doing, we are creating the thread for this particular class. So the output that we will be getting is thread is run. So now let's understand creating of thread by by implementing the runnable interface. So we have created a class here which is implementing the runnable interface, and in this we are having a method, and the name of the method is public void run. And here we have defined the method, that is thread is running. And then we are using the main function, that is void main, and in this we are creating the object of the class, that is multi, and then we are using the constructor of the thread class to create the thread, that means T1. And now we are using the method T1.start, that means now we started the thread, and the output that we will be getting is thread is running. So both are giving the same output. The thing is that we just need to identify what is the way that we want to use to create a thread. Now, there is a very important point related to the thread, that is the priority of the thread. Because we are converting a program, we are converting a process into number of threads. As I told you that, for example, there is a process P1, so there can be 10 threads, 5 threads related to that particular process. So it is mandatory that we have to present or we have to represent the thread by, in terms of their priority, so that the execution can be carried out smoothly. Compiler could have the knowledge that what thread has to be executed first. So each thread is having a priority, and priorities are represented by a number between 1 to 10. Okay, so the priority 1 is the highest priority and 10 is the lowest priority. In most cases, the thread scheduler schedules the thread according to their priority, known as the preemptive scheduling. Okay, but it is not guaranteed because it depends on JVM specification that which scheduling it chooses. And also JVM, can also assign the priorities of a thread explicitly of a Java program. So basically, when are there in the queue for the purpose of running, for example, T1 is the highest priority thread and T10 is the lowest priority thread. So what can be happen that sometimes it happen that thread is there and the priority of that thread is 7. And sometimes thread 5 has occurred. So what will be done? Primitive scheduling will be performed by JVM. Now, what is this primitive scheduling? The execution of thread 7 will be stopped immediately by JVM and it will execute the thread 5 because the priority of thread 5 is more as compared to that of thread 7. So this is what priority of thread is. Now there are two methods, that is setter and getter method, which are used for thread priority. So the method is something like this. That means we can represent the method like public final int get priority. So this method returns the priority of the given thread. Then we can have public final void set priority. So this method updates or assign the priority of a thread to new priority. For example, the priority of the thread is 5 and we want to change the priority to 4, 7. Then what we have to do? We have to use the method set. That means setter is used to change the priority and getter method is used to return the priority. So the method set throws illegal argument exception if the value new priority goes out of the range. That means the minimum value of priority should be 1 and maximum value should be 10. So in this session, you have learned about threads in Java. So I hope now you are having the clarity that what is the concept of thread in Java and how we can create threads in Java and what is the method of knowing the priority and also changing the priority of the threads and what are the other methods that we can use while we are using the thread class in Java. We'll see you in the next session.